Playing the Radical Latino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air for New York's very own.
Radical
Latino is taking you to another level.
What up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. It's your host, the Radical Latino. What is poppin', my people? You already know who it is. Number 25 on all Latin podcasts, Mr. Unsuable for the 6th week running. What is poppin', my people? What is going on? I hope everybody's having a great week. A lot of places are opening due to COVID. A lot of places are actually pretty much open nowadays due to COVID. You know, the thing is pretty much dying out. I hear there's a vaccine on the way, so I don't know how promising or true that whole thing is. I don't know. Are y'all gonna get the vaccine? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors that it might be mandatory or whatever the case is. Also, a bunch of landlords are doing a bunch of scams out here because a lot of people, you know, were out of work and shit. Listen, most of these landlords from each state, they got paid out. So what you guys need to do is go to your town's website or state's website to see, and go to like the housing authority or something and see if your landlord got paid out, because a lot of landlords got paid out by the government by the times that they weren't getting paid rent. So look out for that, and you guys can actually face that in court. You know, a lot of people are freaking out because they're having back paid rent and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing that I want to just put out, you know, real quick. You know what I'm saying? To help you guys out. Now, a couple of days ago, there was a debate with a, you know, Puerto Rican girl and Tariq Nasheed. And I put out a video, right? I put a video about the debate. And pretty much, you know, I saw that this Puerto Rican girl, let me just give you guys the backstory. This Puerto Rican girl went on social media and she started basically saying that black people wear their blackness as a scab, where, you know, it could get picked on or whatever the case is. And a lot of people saw that as some type of being, you know, some type of racist shit, you know, being racist and all that. And I saw the same thing too. I wasn't appreciating it. I didn't like it. And the thing is, she said that black folks are too sensitive when it comes to racism, when you're posting a Karen or murder porn or whatever the case is. And the thing is, Tariq made a great point. It's not that black folks are sensitive. The fact that they're calling out racism, it's something that, you know, for some reason this Puerto Rican chick doesn't like, or she sees too much of it. You know, the thing is the fact that we're calling out racism constantly on a daily basis, and it's bombarding some of these people who are getting tired of it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. The fact that this Puerto Rican chick got tired of seeing racism constantly on her you know, social media feed, and she's getting tired of it, then why the fuck are you complaining on black folks? How about you go fight racism then? If you're tired of seeing it, then why don't you do something to, you know, stop it? You know what I'm saying? But no, she complains to black folks saying y'all too sensitive. That's a cop-out. That's scared nigga talk. I'm gonna keep it real. That's scared nigga talk. Because she is fully aware that white supremacy exists, and she's fully aware that it does affect her. But that's scared nigga talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's insane to actually even see that. You know what I'm saying? It's insane to see that. So I made a video, and I basically, even though I'm gonna keep it real, that Puerto Rican shorty was giving Tariq that work, and pretty much some of the stuff Tariq was saying was pretty much lies, and I pointed that shit out because he has a narrative that he has to fill, so it's all good, right? He don't believe that bullshit, but he has a narrative. It's all good. And you know, she has a narrative too, but she was hitting him with that work, and he was basically deflecting, going back to Puerto Rico this, Puerto Rico that. If it wasn't for FBA, y'all wouldn't even be here. Anchor baby, which doesn't even, that whole anchor baby argument doesn't even apply to Puerto Ricans because they're not anchor babies. They're U.S. citizens, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't apply, but you can tell Tariq doesn't have anything else of some immigrant babble. You know, immigrant rhetoric. He doesn't have nothing else, so he has to say that. You know what I mean? He has to say that. So, you know, it kind of showed the flaw in his logic. And just because I'm staying on code, I'm gonna say that Tariq won that. Even though Janicia, you know, she came out, you know, pretty much, you know, fucking them up and all that. No, I'm not gonna side. I'm not gonna side with an anti-black person. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying on code, so I'm gonna say Tariq won that. The same way how Jared Taylor, when he debated Jared Taylor dominated the debate, which is really funny in debating, because when you dominate a debate and question someone's credibility and they keep on fumbling, you pretty much got in the bag. You're gonna presume to be the winner. I'm gonna keep it real. Jared Taylor dominated the debate, but I'm not gonna give it to Jared Taylor. You know, even though he has a procedure of or the image of winning, I'm gonna give it to Tariq because Tariq was spitting facts, you know, and the only thing Jared Taylor was doing was dominating the debate. I'm not gonna side with a white supremacist. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Come on. Come on now. We gotta stay on code. So Janicia goes to my comment section and calls me a Tariq Nasheed groupie. And I was like, how? She didn't even write back. I'm like, how am I a groupie? You know, if you really watch the video, I pretty much agree with you. I just said Tariq won because you was on some anti-black bullshit. You know, and she never responded, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Now, I want to move on to my next topic. Colombian girl. Now, first of all, I just want to let y'all know I was getting attacked and dragged on Twitter left and right, because I called a Colombian girl a Spaniard. Yes, I did. I called a Colombian girl a Spaniard, and people went insane. People started losing their minds. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck are you gonna call herself a Spaniard? She's Colombian, she's Latina, obviously. And then there was a new rhetoric, a little false rhetoric, where they said because she got light skin or white skin, that I don't consider her Latina, which is a false narrative, and that's not what I'm saying. So let me just let you guys know what happened. So this Colombian girl got beat up at the metro spot in Miami, right? By a black guy. And the only reason why they even sent me this news article is because I'm for black and brown unity. And it was a way to, like, basically, you know, throw it in my face, like, oh, look at your black and brown unity now, da. Which makes no sense, because I could show the same thing that Latin people do to black folks. You know what I mean? So that kind of doesn't make sense. But, you know, we could both show negativity of each community. But anyway, all right. So that happened, right? And when you further go into the details of this article, you find out that this guy was basically high on drugs and he was mentally ill. minutes before he attacked this woman, he attacked 2 other people, black and white. You know what I'm saying? Black and white. So that whole rhetoric that he was looking for a Latina, solely a Latina, goes out the window. Because he attacked 2 people previously. Right? Now, this is where people go crazy and say, how can you call her a Spaniard? Well, in one of the articles I read that she migrated from Spain when she was like, I believe 6 or 7, something like that. She was young. She migrated from Spain to Colombia, and then throughout her adulthood, she migrated from Colombia to the United States. Last time I checked, the shorty is a Spaniard. She's no type of Latina, I'm sorry. She is Spaniard. Because if we want to go out and mind you, these are the white supremacists that are talking about, well, Spaniards could be Latin people too. And that's the whole concept and the whole concept of this episode, by the way. You know what I mean? You know, breaking away from white approval. This is the whole concept of this episode anyway. So their thing is Spaniards are Latin people too. So since Latin people are mixed with indigenous, black, and Spanish, the guy that attacked her is black, African. I'm just saying he's either immigrant or African American. I don't know, but he's black, so that means he's part of Latin people too. Then, right? If we're using that logic, so that means this is just Latin on Latin crime, or does this just apply to Spanish people? You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. I'm sorry, this is not our fight. Shorty is Spaniard. I'm sorry. Hard pill to swallow, but it is what it is. So with this, when this happened, I was getting a whole hue, how dare you, this and this and this. Blah, blah, blah. And I was going to war with a bunch of everybody in that, you know, not more suspected, that open white supremacist Rancho, because I'll get into that. He was just coming out, you know, on some dumb shit. And I was hitting everybody with facts, but then I just ignored them. I was like, there's no point. And they were just going crazy, and that's all good. You know what I'm saying? But then they started going a little in, because then my Instagram got hacked. The password was changed, and I was so lucky that I caught it right on time when it was changed, where I could just change it right back. So I don't know what kind of information they got out of it. I really don't know. It was literally within the first 3 to 4 minutes of it happening. I got the email. I said, what the fuck? Changed it right back. Did whatever I had to do. Man, the shit was quick. You know what I'm saying? And nobody changed anything. I don't know what kind of information these motherfuckers got. But now I'm like, damn, these people are really, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people are really at it. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's what happened. They hacked my Instagram and all that because of all this other bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I got extra protection now, you know, 2-factor authorization. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so that's what happened. And I wanted to give you guys that update. Also, with the whole Rancho thing, he had a interview, well, not interview, but episode with a bunch of Dominicans, and it's so funny that him and Dominican Renaissance started going, this is the reason why I'm titling it Breaking Away from White Approval. It's 2 titles, Loving Our Aggressors and Breaking Away from White Approval, but I'm just keeping it as Breaking Away from White Approval. This is that episode is the reason why I even made it. I felt like Dominican Renaissance was trolling these people throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But he had a thing, and he said something very, very interesting. He said that he would side with Dominican Renaissance with his Haitian bullshit, which I found very interesting. I said, really? You would side with Dominican Renaissance on that anti, Haitian bullshit, but I thought you said that Haitians were Latin, I believe, or he wants to hook up with black folks and something like that. I think he said that previously. So is he talking? Because let's be honest, when most Dominicans say Haitian this and Haitian that, Haitian is a code word for black. Let's keep it real. That's what it is. Haitian is a code word for black. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with this code word, they just basically just say, oh, I hate Haitians, and that's about it. But no, they just hate black folks. They got pure content, for black people. And the thing is, Dominican Renaissance on that whole interview type of thing, was going out his way using word gymnastics to not, say that Dominicans are black or just deny the blackness of Dominican Republic, which is insane because Dominican Renaissance is black himself. I put it up on Twitter. I put both of his pictures up, and I started laughing. I was like, this is some insane shit. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then it just bugged me out even more that everybody found that insane, but then Rancho goes out and confirms he's a white supremacist by saying, oh yeah, with your anti-race, anti-Haitian rhetoric, oh yeah, I'm with you with that. Yeah, I'm with you with that. You know what I'm saying? Which is like, oh, okay, now you basically confirmed it. Because he really means all black folks. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is confirmed. You know what I'm saying? So moving on to my other update. Somebody asked me, hey, instead of giving you 5K to show your face, how about you make a contest and say, if you reach 3 or 5K subscribers on YouTube, you'll show your face. So I don't know, I might put that as a poll. I'll let you guys decide if that's what it is, because everybody that wants to see my face, they talk tough, they talk all this shit, and I say, all right, you really want to see my face? I don't know what's the fascination with my face. I don't know what's the fascination is, because when I show my face, what the hell they're gonna get out of it? You know what I'm saying? But besides their girls sliding into my DMs like, hey, Radical, what's going on? You looking real good, Poppy. You know what I'm saying? Besides that happening, I'm telling you, don't lose your girl, dog, when it comes to me. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, you don't want it. But anyway, I don't know what's a fascination with my face. So if y'all too broke, y'all hate too much, but y'all can't get paper, y'all too broke, then all right. And racism is not holding y'all down, and y'all got that shit. Get a little GoFundMe. Get me that 5K. If not, then, get some of your troll accounts and boost my subscriber count up to 5K, and I'll show you my face. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, let me read last week's comment. Episode 110, I interviewed Fighter Complex. By the way, somebody felt some type of way because I call Fighter Complex a coon. And I'm not backtracking what I said. Fighter Complex, when I interviewed him, I wasn't aware of some of the comments that he was talking about in certain live streams. And I never called him a coon. I said that he was close and he had a ticket on the coon train. He was saying things that's real coonish. That's all I said. I didn't call him a coon. I said that he was saying things that's real coonish because in Tina's after our interview, I think a couple of days go by, I'm on Tina's 10-hour marathon, and this dude just jumps out the window and says, yeah, a white man called me the N-word, and that's not racist. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Jumping out the window with that shit. Defending Trump. Come on now. Defending Trump, saying, oh, he's not racist. Come on now. So I had to put the disclaimer out there. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't know your views 100% on what you really stand for, if I don't know that, I'm going to question you on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to question you on that. And, and then we'll go on with the interview. But I didn't know all that. So that's why I had to put the disclaimer out there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to put the disclaimer out there. Because it happened to me once before where I interviewed somebody and I didn't really know them 100%. And you know what I'm saying? And you know, it bit me, to me, it bit me in the ass. To me, it bit me in the ass because then I found out about Shorty. I'm like, damn. She's really like anti-black like that? God damn, I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I had to put the disclaimer out there. So whoever feels some type of way, y'all can hit me up. It is what it is. But anyway, Gaines Nation says, good interview, Radical. Fighter Complex is a good kid. I do agree. He be saying some coon shit. Not calling him a coon, but he's close to that. But you're 100% right. Good. He's a good kid. Shout out to you, Rad, for not letting people cloud your mind and you stick to your morals. Shout out to you. Thank you. Keep spitting. I will too. Shout out to him. Shout out to Blight. Go follow him on Twitter. You know, Godzilla says the Valentine Show is a conservative Christian Dominican American. His channel deals with politics and is pro-Trump. Yeah, another Dominican coon. Louis Redden said, "Hey, Radical Latino, I've been really intrigued, inspired, and in agreement with a lot of your content. You probably think I'm a spam or Louis or something, but is it possible to have a conversation with you on topics to discuss? Maybe listen, I actually spoke to Louis. It's actually pretty funny. I spoke to Louis. I gave him my email. Me and him emailed back and forth. I gave him my number and me and him talked. It's actually pretty funny. Yo, Louis is the type of listener that wants more context and wants to know a little bit more about someone's stance, because again, in this country, Latin people, we are a forgotten group. We are a forgotten group. You know what I'm saying? We are in a fallen state. And for the most part, Latin people, we just don't know where to go in America, because my message is about America. You know what I'm saying? My message is about American Latin people. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know where to go because we're being labeled left and right, left and right, left and right, left and right. We are in this gray area where it's confusing. And we gotta really go, check that. You know what I'm saying? So he called, we talked, and hopefully he understood where I'm coming from and I got him in better perspective. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so shout out to Louis. And a really quick update. I put this in my community. Kim has been doing secret live streams at night and basically taking any fucking chance he gets to come at me and say a bunch of lies and shit. I'm not really gonna go into anything. I'm not really gonna go into none of the nonsense he said. All I'm gonna say is, Kim, I'm talking to you right now. Tell the people how, and mind you, I was on three-way when this happened. I was on three-way with Truth Teacher. And Truth Teacher, even though I want him to be biased as fuck, he's not. He's not gonna be biased. He's gonna stand by the truth, hence Truth Teacher. You know what I'm saying? That old motherfucker. Anyway, he smells like mothballs. Anyway, taking iron pills and shit. Anyway. So, Truth Teacher's on three-way with me. Kim, how about you tell the people how you came crying to me to save you from getting doxxed? And your plan was to put out a video with me co-signing it so you won't get doxxed, or at least, alleviate the doxing that might happen to you. Why don't you tell the people about that, Javier? I'm sorry, Kim. 1, 2, 3. How about you tell the people that? Tell the people how you haven't had a girl in 8 years and you were actually asking me for advice how to talk to girls. Tell the people about that. Huh? Tell the people how you live in your parents' garage to make room for all your other family members because y'all living fucking cramped. Tell the people about that. You live in a garage, fam. You don't live in the basement. You live in a garage, fam. Tell the people about that. Tell the people how your brother-in-law, that's Dominican, try to hook you up with a chick in Maryland, a fellow Latina, and less than 15 minutes, she dubbed you. Because according to her, you were too weird. Why don't you tell the people about that? Huh? Tell the people how you are autistic. And the reason why you are autistic is because, you know, mental issues. And that's the reason why you focus too much on BBC, Mr. BBC, aka Kim, aka Javier Eric Romo. Tell the people about that. And by the way, whatever he wants to say, he is autistic. Just look at some of his interviews. Look at the interview he had with me. Most of my sarcastic, dumb bullshit was flying over his head. He wasn't catching it. He's fucking awkward and weird. He's too literal. That's what autistic people is. You know what I'm saying? So Kim, what's up, bro? Making secret little things about me. Talking your little bullshit. And then deleting them like a bitch. So what's going on, bro? What's up, Eric? You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact when you were talking shit about me on your live stream and me and Truth got on and you started stuttering and you started losing your train of thought. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Tell the people how that business that you always claim to have isn't yours. It's actually a family business that's basically barely struggling. I got the tax forms on that, by the way. I got the tax forms on that, by the way. I'm just keeping that shit on the stash. Tell the people about that. Huh? Tell the people about that. Tell the people that your sister, she actually dates black dudes. And that's the type of shit that you hate. Because you hear your sister getting smashed out every other week. And that's the type of... Tell the people about that, huh? Why don't you? No, you're too busy talking shit about other people, right? Is that what it is, Kim? Is that what it is? Is this shit getting too real for you? Is that what it is, Kim? Your only thing against me that you could probably say is I'm not Latin enough. I'm too American because I don't know a fucking football team name? Are you dumb? So you didn't even test me on the law. By the way, that was all bullshit, by the way. So you didn't test me on no Ecuadorian Dominican law. You didn't test me on who the former presidents were. You didn't test me on none of that. The first thing you're gonna tell the people that you test me on was on football names? Are you stupid? Are you stupid? All right. So you're not gonna talk about me no more, and this is what you said. You're not gonna talk about me no more. That's fine. I won't talk about you either, fam. But tell the people about all of that shit that's happened to you personally. I think the people need to know. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you're a BBC figure. You know what I'm saying? You're a BBC figure, so tell the people about that. You know what I'm saying? Tell the people about that. Because all this other shit that I'm hearing about, oh man, I thought you and Kim was cool. How many times I had to say he's an associate? I never trusted the motherfucker. I always told him some dumb shit just to basically lead him off. You know what I'm saying? Always told him some dumb shit just to get him off. You feel me? This motherfucker was never, he was never hit up by the FBI. Who the fuck is him? Hit up by the FBI? Come on, guys, really? He talks about BBC all day. The FBI is gonna waste their time on him? They got other terrorists that they gotta deal with, but they're gonna deal with a BBC talker? Really? Come on now, let's make it make sense, guys. Let's make it make sense, guys. Come on. All that shit is bullshit, man. All that shit is bullshit, but it's all good. It's all good. Just keep my name out your mouth. And that's the only time I'm ever gonna talk about you, unless you really want to take the gloves off, or whatever. It is what it is. Anyways, moving moving on to my first topic. Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. Donald J. Trump. First of all, did you guys see the debate? God damn, that sounded like Tina's live stream. The way Chivo was wilding out, god damn. Not Chivo, I'm sorry. Damn, I got Antonio in the brain. My bad. Rancho. Chivo, Rancho, same shit. They're the same person. How Rancho was wilding out, that's how Trump was wilding out. Like, god damn, bro. Chill out. Not letting him speak and all that. And something really interesting happened. Trump didn't denounce the Proud Boys. Oh shit. Yeah, he didn't denounce it. Regardless of what people want to say, he didn't denounce the Proud Boys. This is a fact. He said, are you going to tell them to stand down? Are you going to denounce them? He went on and said, who? What? Who? And then goes and says, stand back and stand by. That's not denouncing them. That's not telling them to stand down. It's telling them, wait for my orders. That's what it's telling them. Stand by? Let's use our common sense, people. Stand by, that's what cops tell each other. I'm gonna go move in on this target. Stand by. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we're gonna go into the crack house. We're gonna raid the whole thing. Stand back. We gotta devise a plan. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. He didn't denounce nobody. Let's keep it real. Now people out here talking about, yeah, he denounced them. No, he didn't. He didn't denounce the Proud Boys. You know what I'm saying? The Proud Boys is a white supremacist organization, regardless of whatever they want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I want you guys to hear the clip. Check this out.
Are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing
to
do
specifically
that,
do it? Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call them? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
white supremacists
and right
Proud Boys. Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing. This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not militia. That's what his FBI. FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving.
When a bat hits you over the head, that's not an idea.
Everybody
Antifa
in your
is
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Wow. So he, according to him, you see how he, first of all, you see how he deflected. Yeah, who you want me? The Proud Boys? All right. Stand back and stand by. By the way, the left, come on now. Come on now. That's a clear dog whistle. That's a clear dog whistle. And guess what? First of all, for anyone that's denying that's a dog whistle, how come the Proud Boys ain't denying it? They actually took it and made shirts out of it. Stand back and stand by. They made fucking shirts out of it. That was not missed. That was not missed according to them. Let's be real. Let's be real. Donald Trump is a white supremacist. And the Proud Boys is a white supremacist group, regardless if you don't want to claim him as that. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you guys, first of all, the history of the Proud Boys. As every racist group like the KKK or even Jim Crow laws, they all started as jokes and little parody things and little ideas that people came up with that later on became radicalized and became weaponized against non-white people. The KKK started as a fucking joke, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. It started as a joke, dressing up as hooded white ghosts or whatever the case is, and then, you know, following black people around or whatever the case is to scare them. But then it started becoming a life of its own. Then they started to actually adopt certain styles and traditions. They started to become and have an ideology of their own out of thin air. They started to actually grant people certain names of higher rank, like the Grand Wizard and some bullshit like that. And mind you, most of their ideology was evolving from Spain and Spanish type of, you know, ideology. Because if you guys really want to really go back, the KKK hoods and outfits, the Spanish did that first to take the Moors away. They saw that as a battling attire. They saw that as, this is my right to bear arms, you know, like their outfit. So the Americanized version is nowhere different from the Spanish version, but they have their own ideology. You know what I'm saying? Their whole ideology, they have their own, you know, religious type of sect, you know? And that's how it evolved. You know what I mean? Also, the Jim Crow laws, it started as minstrel shows. It started as gags. And then, you know, little by little, certain people started getting wind of these type of you know, gags and comedy skits of this thing called Jim Crow, to the point where they're like, you know what, we should implement that. That's the type of thing we should implement. You know what I mean? So everything starts off as a joke, and this is the reason why I even say it, is because the Proud Boys started as making fun of one kid, believe it or not. And this is coming straight from the people who saw it and started it. Even though I'm going to give it a super duper 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 grain of salt, because again, this is coming from white supremacists themselves, and they want to downplay everything that's happening. But all right. So Gavin McInnes has the same story, and Anthony Cumia has the same story. So apparently this is how it started, right? According to them, this is how the Proud Boys started. It was started because of one kid, which was an intern who was lanky, very skinny, and didn't look like he was getting any girls, right? And word started going around saying that he liked opera songs, right? Like musical songs, you know, from musicals. So they will always bust his balls, right? And then McInnes brings in a song called Proud of Your Boy, which is, I believe, for what I could recall, I could be wrong, a Disney song, I believe, a Disney Aladdin song, or was it or something like that. It was a song, Proud of Your Boy. And basically he played it or whatever, and basically everything was to make fun of this kid, you know, that is lanky, everything that a man shouldn't be according to their eyes. The outside people got wind of this and said that's something that we should emulate. So in the start, the way it started was that in order to become a proud boy, you have to get beat up by reciting 5 favorite cereals. I'm dead serious. While you getting beat up, you gotta recite 5 favorite cereals. You know, stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Get a tattoo of Proud Boy in Old English, and then get yourself involved in a violent act, basically shedding blood or whatever the case is, to an Antifa member or somebody from the opposite group of your choice. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically how it all started. And their whole thing is masculine energy all the time. They don't believe in you know, jerking off, and a man shouldn't jerk off at all, only when he's actually having sexual intercourse. But if he chooses to jerk off, a woman needs to be 100 yards away from, you know what I'm saying? Like weird dumb shit like that, right? Then it started to have a movement of its own where Gavin McInnes actually was a part of it. Later on, he denounced everything, left the group, and now there's a new leader of it. But Gavin McInnes, he was definitely a part of it, part of the violent acts. The Proud Boys were a part of the, you know, Virginia alt-right rally. The person who started that rally was a Proud Boy. Later on, Gavin McInnes denounced who he was or whatever because he was getting so much backlash. Even people like Tim Pool, who I suspect is a white supremacist himself, because for some reason he likes defending these fucks. You know what I'm saying? Will say, well, the FBI denounced them or took them away from the terrorist list or whatever the case is. At the end of the day, they could be wrong. I haven't checked the ADL list if they's off or whatever the case is, but they are a violent white supremacist group because they were part of the Virginia thing. And they were, you know, basically saying Hail Hitler, blood and soil, and all this other bullshit. Okay? That's what the Proud Boys is now. Fuck what it started as. That's what it is now. And the thing is, it's kind of crazy that the Proud Boys has a few Black and Latin members. Majority of them are all white, but some of them are Black and Latin members, believe it or not. Because they believe in multiracial men being chauvinists type of thing, and you know, they don't believe in racism, but yet they commit a lot of racist acts. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of insane. It's kind of insane. So that's what those Proud Boys are. They are a white supremacist group. That's what it is. We gotta just keep it real. We have to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So he denounced the Proud Boys, and now he got tested positive for COVID. Karma, karma, karma. Holy shit. Now they say that he actually left the hospital because he got this experiment drug and went back to the White House, and my man looks all disheveled and fucked up. I said, God damn, bro, you should have just stayed there. You know what I'm saying? You should have just stayed there. But talking about disheveled and fucked up, talking about that, my next topic, King Face. Holy shit, King Face. For those who don't know who King Face is, King Face, I believe they said that he was a rapper at one point, but anyway, he is known to be a black Trump supporter, right? Known to have MAGA hats on and basically have these political debates, which actually don't even turn out to political debates. It just turns out into like screaming matches and shit, because he uses barbershop logic, which barbershop logic means that the louder somebody is, the more right they are, which makes no type of sense, because that's the type of logic he does, right? So he's King Face is the one to actually say that racism doesn't affect black people, it's black people's fault and all that. He's really cool with Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white supremacists and suspected white supremacists like to have him around, regurgitate white supremacists, anti-black talking points so they won't seem to be racist. You know, that's who King Face is. He's basically a tokenized you know, coon. That, and let's keep it real, that's who King Face is. He's a tokenized coon that these white supremacists use just to regurgitate their racist, anti-black talking points. You know, so he passed away this week. I'm not sad and I'm not happy about it. Either way, it is what it is. You know, there are some people who, you know, knew him personally. You know, I'm not out here wishing death on nobody. You know, it's a sad thing. Apparently he passed away from, I think it was a kidney infection. But then again, there's rumors out here coming from one of his ex-girlfriends saying that he actually had AIDS. Yeah, so apparently, allegedly, he's being accused of having HIV and giving it to multiple women, and they're saying that that's the real reason why he passed away, or whatever the case is. I don't know, but I just want to go based on his track record, and his track record, I don't think he was doing anything good for black folks. He, something I didn't even know, he's actually, I think, was a half Puerto Rican and half something else, or whatever the case is. So he was a horrible stance on the Latin community. You know what I'm saying? So that right there isn't something, you know, that we should be applauding. No one should be applauding the regurgitation of certain individuals talking points that they used against us. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, it is what it is. I'm not gonna say no rest in peace or whatever, but it is what it is. A lot of people called him a scammer. He was just doing this to get paid. If that was the case, then more power to him. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, actually, a lot of white supremacists used him to basically move along their talking points. And if he was for real about his shit, then he could go fuck himself. You know what I'm saying? One less you know, collaborator here in the world. You know what I'm saying? And talking about collaborators, I'm gonna move on to Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan right now is getting censored on Spotify. Holy shit. Joe Rogan right now is getting censored on Spotify. A lot of people are going crazy for it, you know, because when he went on Spotify, he said that nothing's gonna change. He's gonna have you know, creative rights and all that, and Spotify is just licensing his podcast. Come to find out, when Spotify moved all his material over, only very controversial figures were left out, like Milo Yiannopoulos and Alex Jones and a bunch of, you know, these alt-right people that he had on, right? And Ben Shapiro, you know. So people are yelling foul, saying that, you know, there's some bullshit, they're censoring him and all this other stuff, right? And then a recent report, well, Joe Rogan came out to squash all those rumors, and I believe that it was a discrepancy, and some of those episodes are coming out, or already did come out. And then you see that you see reports talking about, hey, Joe Rogan is actually the staff in Spotify, they're actually boycotting Joe Rogan's podcast because they say that it's a bad look for the company, and they want editorial control over his podcast. And a lot of people are yelling foul. A lot of people are basically, saying this is not right. There's some bullshit. They're censoring us. Oh my God. Now, again, some people will call Joe Rogan a white supremacist. I haven't listened to Joe Rogan like that. I do listen to some of the things that he has to say, some of the interviews that he has. He basically has a lot of people on the left and the right come on, and he challenges them, challenges some people. He doesn't challenge all of them, so it's not safe to say for me to call him something that I don't know nothing about. Maybe if somebody has more evidence out there that he is one of these closeted, alt-right white supremacist dudes, maybe. I don't know, but I'm not gonna jump out the window here saying that he is one when I don't know too much about the guy. You know what I mean? I did see certain stances he took that I disagree with. But let's just talk about the censorship for 1 second. No, I don't agree with the whole censorship shit. I don't agree with it because even though people might not like his stance or whatever the case is, it's his opinion. Unless he's actually calling out for violence, that's something different. You know what I mean? That's his opinion. He's not out here targeting a group of individuals and constantly talking about them, basically having false narratives about them. He's not doing none of that, because if he was, then obviously get him out of here. You know what I mean? So that right there, I think that's a misnomer when it comes to that right there. I don't think that he should be censored because Joe Rogan, he is, unfortunately, he is the gatekeeper mediator of podcasts. So because podcast is such a new form, even though it's been here for the longest, people don't know how to capitalize on it. Apple started with the whole podcast thing. It was actually called, I think, was it internet radio? But Apple, with marketing geniuses, everything that Apple does, people just end up adopting. That we got to keep it real. So internet radio turned into what we call a podcast. That was because of Apple. You know what I mean? So Apple was the first people who started the whole podcast game. The thing is, they didn't know how to implement it well, and they just left the field, to be open. You know what I'm saying? They left the field to be open for the whole podcast game, and other people came in like Spotify and all these other people, and they started dominating. I think that was Apple had a 100% control of it, just having the app on everybody's phone, to basically losing it. I think Apple could definitely still get it, if Apple wants to get an exclusive podcast deal or whatever the case is, right? So the thing about that is that I don't think somebody should be censored. I don't think nobody should be censored if they're being neutral about everything. If they're talking about social injustices and calling that stuff out, no. If they're talking about, harming a certain group of people or just targeting a certain group of people, then yes, they should definitely be censored. But so far, for what I know, and I don't know too much about Joe Rogan, I disagree with the whole censoring thing, because now anybody that wants to get a deal or whatever the case is from their podcast, now they're gonna basically Joe Rogan set the template. Now people will look at Joe Rogan stuff and say, well, we're going to implement it here now. You know what I'm saying? Which is totally not fair to do. You know what I mean? Totally not fair to do, and we shouldn't be allowing that type of thing to really go down. You know what I'm saying? So those are my thoughts on that. Now, moving on to my next topic, the Breonna Taylor cover-up case. Okay, so district attorney, the grand jury actually sued the district attorney for misrepresenting the case and misrepresenting what they were allowed to basically judge over and you know, put these cops away. And that's what the grand jury is saying, that the district attorney misrepresented everything, hid evidence, and stopped certain things from surfacing. And this goes to show white supremacy again. This is the effects, and this is the proof that white supremacy is a real factor in effect. Regardless, whoever we have in office that is black or not, it doesn't matter. They will still abide by the laws of white supremacy, the unwritten laws. And what are those laws? Don't do anything to help out your people and your community. If you do, you'll be ostracized. You'll be basically taken out to the back and shot. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, some of the stuff that I just said right now is, you know, it's just hypotheticals. Sometimes it's some real shit. You know, there's some white folks in history who were allies of black people who was shot dead like dogs, talking about suicide. Like, let's talk about Gary Webb. Gary Webb is a white man journalist whose career and life got threatened and basically trampled because he actually uncovered a CIA operation called the Contra scandal, bringing cocaine into the inner cities, turning that thing into crack and just selling it out. They allow that to fund their war overseas in Latin America. And then look at the double-edged sword. Look at the double-edged sword. They went and actually manipulated the law and said if you got crack cocaine, you get more time than you would if you had powder cocaine. Same drug, but crack cocaine was actually used not 100%, but majority of the time on black folks. Black folks were the ones using it. Black folks were the ones selling it and all that other stuff. So, of course, right there, that was racialized. You know what I'm saying? That was racialized. The second largest majority of the people that were using it and selling it were Latin people. All of this happened in New York and California and Florida. Come on. The CIA allowed this. That white man uncovered it, put it out there, and they basically ruined his goddamn career. To the point where years later, they shot him twice in the back of the head, talking about suicide. Come on now. Come on now. Really, guys? Suicide? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let's not get it twisted on, oh, we gotta elect black. No. We already learned from Obama a long time ago. All right. I will personally die in this hill. I don't give a fuck. I don't feel like Obama did anything, you know, for the community. Maybe certain things he did that I don't know about, but personally, me seeing it, seeing, I don't see that he actually did anything for the community. And the fact that we just vote either because a person is Latino or Latina and you know, or they're black or whatever, doesn't mean they're gonna represent our best interests. Those are the type of things that we have to really look at. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things that we really have to look at. Now, this is another perfect example. You know, a DA, a black DA, out here sabotaging a case of an innocent woman getting killed. That says a lot. That says a lot. That says a lot right there. That says that obviously they didn't have no goddamn reason to go up in there. Secondly, that says that they fucked up and they're trying to cover up their tracks. Thirdly, that says that all that little thing that they were talking about, that Breonna Taylor is actually a queen pin and all this other shit, goes out the window. Because if she was really hiding drugs and all that, they will not be going out their way to have her ex-boyfriend fucking lie, take less time to just for him to admit that she was part of the organization. All right? If that was the case. If that was the case that she was actually doing and she was actually selling drugs and all that other bullshit, if that was the case, the DA wouldn't have been going all out the way to misrepresent the case to the grand jury. If that was the case. Come on, the shit doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And we have to call it for what it is. We definitely gotta call it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this is one of our people in our community that we live around. You know, everybody could be a Breonna Taylor one day. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could be one day. And if we allow this to happen, then who the hell is gonna fight for you? You know what I'm saying? On top of that, the original witness that they only brought up, saying that he heard the cops, you know, actually yelling, you know, saying that they were presenting themselves, he actually retracted his statement saying, yo, I don't remember that. I misrepresented or I misremembered something. You know what I mean? So this is all funny stuff from the jump, man. This is all funny stuff from the jump because they don't do that to white folks. They don't do that to white folks whatsoever. A white person could lie that a black person went up in the cribs, stole their kids, and killed everybody in the house, and they will go months looking for a magical white person, and a magical black person, and then they find out that the person who really called was the one who committed all those crimes and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Come on now. Let's stop. Let's stop. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop this shit. Because like I said, it won't happen to white folks. You know what I'm saying? It won't happen to white folks. Now, moving on to the main motherfucking topic. You know what I'm saying? Moving on to the main topic at hand. Breaking away from white approval. First of all, I want to first of all, you cannot before I get into anything, breaking away from white approval coincides deeply into loving white's approval or loving your aggressor. It coincides deeply into that. It's very psychological, and I'm gonna break all of that down. The reason why I'm even doing this episode is because even though I disagree with Rancho and everybody up in that place, I disagree with everybody. I disagree with their stance or whatever. They had a recent episode where he got a bunch of Dominicans up in there, and he had Dominican Renaissance up in that place. For those who don't know who Dominican Renaissance is, I debated him in one of my episodes a while back. You know, and if you guys listen to that episode, you guys will hear that he actually, you know, kind of worships white people. You know what I mean? He looks up to white folks. You know what I'm saying? And he does everything in his power to deny his own blackness. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why he deleted most of the videos with his face on it. Whenever he talks a certain way where people could mistake him for being white. You know what I'm saying? So he was on this thing and he was doing the word gymnastics of a lifetime. He was doing the word gymnastics of a lifetime because he was going out his way to deny his blackness. Everything was all cool when they were talking about white folks, and you know, there was nothing wrong said about white folks. That's totally fine. He defends white folks when there's something wrong said about them, but when it goes to black folks, he's perfectly fine when people talk about the negative aspects of black folks. But when they start including black folks into the conversation or including it into his, you know, homeland or whatever the case is, he gets super defensive and starts bugging out. You know what I'm saying? Starts bugging out and gets super defensive. And that's a huge sign. Because with these people, that we have to understand is that in Latin culture, there's no anti-blackness in Latin culture. There's no anti-blackness. What it is that there is white supremacy that infected all of us. And this happened all throughout the diaspora. In Africa, in the Caribbean, in many aspects of, you know, Latin, Caribbean, non-Latin places, you know, like Africa, whatever the case is, right? White supremacy has affected and infiltrated these places to the point where we get confused, and some of us fall throughout that confusion and actually become the perpetrators and the puppet masters for white supremacy. You know, everything that we're told that black is wrong, black is bad, you know, and you see yourself as these type of people, you know, but tell yourself that you're not, you know, and you have to go into constant denial. It shows something. It shows, you know, there's an emotional disconnect there, and it tells you that this person is basically at war with themselves. Now, I'm gonna go into a little bit of psychology, right? I'm gonna take some cues from Amos. He broke this down lovely. And I'm gonna use the concept of the Oedipus complex. For those who don't know what the Oedipus complex is, it was actually it's a theory by Sigmund Freud, right? And the complex is an emotional aroused in a young child, typically a male, around the age of 4 or 5, all the way through 6, around there, that unconsciously sexual desire for a parent of the opposite sex and wish to exclude the parent of the same sex. Basically, have a huge, deep resentment to the father. Have a huge, deep resentment to the father. Have a huge, deep resentment to anybody that looks like him. And it's really telling. You know what I'm saying? So some people will call it, you know, like Amos calls it love for the aggressor. Some people say that it's the identity of the aggressor. You know, when you love the one that persecutes them. in an unhealthy way. And this is what, you know, Sigmund Freud is talking about, you know, the Oedipus complex. You know what I'm saying? That the theory is that the son comes to be just like the father. And at this part, we're talking about the white father. Comes to be just like the father because the boy hates his father, right? And it's an interesting theory. And mind you, again, this is just a theory. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting. He wants to get rid of his father. And how does he do that? How can he be like his father? Because if he comes out resenting his father, just being very brutally honest about his father, then his father would destroy him, will neglect every part of livelihood that he needs to survive. His father would disown him. His father has the ability to, you know, had the ability to make him and has the ability to break him. So that's something the boy doesn't want to go, in this theory, the boy doesn't want to go directly against his father. The fact that he feels weak against his father, that he needs it. He needs his father. He's dependent on his father. Pisses the son off. So how does the son become more like his father? Because you guys have to understand, to be the father, you have to be just like him to escape his punishment. The son right now is like, how can I do this? How can I get out of this turmoil? I should be more like him. If I see the same values as him, if I see the world as him, if I think the way he does, if I actually see the people how he sees those people, how they are, and all of this other stuff, maybe I will be saved from my father's wrath. Because if I show him how much I love him, if I show him how much I care about him, if I start reclassifying myself as he wants me to classify myself as, or close to what he classified himself as, maybe I won't be punished. And it's a very interesting theory. The Oedipus complex is a very interesting theory. I'm not saying this is what most of these Latin coons or even some black coons go through. I'm not saying that. But it's a very interesting theory, and it should be explored a little bit. It does hold some weight because, let's be honest, not only does Dominican Renaissance, I believe, this theory applies to him, but it also applies to Rancho and everybody else up around them. You know what I'm saying? This theory also applies, you know, but it's a very interesting theory. Now, the relationship that Latin and black people have to white folks, it's like a father and son relationship. And this is an honest pill we have to swallow. That's what it is. It's a father and son relationship. Because the way we see it is, we see white folks everywhere we go, and we idolize white folks everywhere we go. We see ourselves even subconsciously as weak. How, you guys are probably saying, how do I see myself as weak? Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Most black and Latin people, we're very religious people. The majority of the image of that deity is white. Is godlike. It's white, right? Jesus, the deity, the way he's depicted, is white. When we go get a job, and right now when I say a job, the first thing you guys probably thought about was a cubicle and you know, one of those high profile jobs. The bosses of those jobs are white. Who are circling our neighborhoods trying to protect us? We see white folks. Everywhere we go, we see white folks in established positions, even godlike positions, to the point that we have to pray to that. So the relationship that we have with white people, and this is unfortunate, but it's true, the relationship that we have to white people, because we've been subjugated and we've been told that nothing good comes out of one of us unless a white person's involved. That's why we have to pray to that. You know what I'm saying? The relationship that we have with white folks is a son and daughter to father relationship. That's what it is. Because we're talking about a system of a group of people that basically victimized us, enslaved us, told us that we were nothing, took our own language away, took our own religious practices away, reclassified us, and put us there to breed. And we're just looking at this person, want to be more closer to him. That's a love for the aggressor. The Oedipus complex that some of these people suffer. The fact that some of us want to reclassify ourselves as Hispanic, Spanish, or Hispano, which is something crazy, is because deep down, these people know that the closer I get to whiteness, the more protection and less victimization I will have. And mind you, these are the same people that told us we were nothing. These are the same people that told us before they came, this where you lived was basically rocks and dust. Y'all were eating mud pies. Y'all couldn't even cultivate the ground properly before we got there. This is what these people are telling us, even though evidence shows that that was nowhere close to being the truth. But this is what these people are telling us. And some of us believe that bullshit. Some of us believe that. So subconsciously, some of us wants to get close to that. Because if I get close to whiteness, if I get close to my aggressor, and he won't even find how to differentiate those other ones for himself, then I'll be what? Less of a victim. Once I become less of a victim, then that's when I could relax. That's when I could live comfortably. That's where I could live comfortably, even though I know that he will never see me the same, even though I know he will never treat me the same, even though I know he will never accept me for who I am and my people the same. I want to get close to that as much as possible because I don't want to be a victim. And this is what these people believe. Subconsciously, this is what they believe. Subconsciously, this is what they practice. It's 100% true. And the thing is, some of us even lie to ourselves, giving excuses to our victimization, or sometimes the victimization of our own people. It's so funny. Sometimes these same aggressors will tell you, I don't see you as black, or I don't see you as Latin. And you'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm standing right here in front of you. Are you colorblind? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. But this is the kind of thing that they want them to do, extract who we are. You know, because if we become a distraction of who we are, we have to come outside of ourselves. We got to be educated with them. We got to read their books, go to their schools. We got to do everything to be more like them, you know? And we don't, and some of us don't even want to identify in any which way of who we really are, even though we got the same skin color as some of the people that we despise, even though some of our genetic makeup looks the same as some of the people that we despise, even though all of that is clear as day. And Dana, that DNA, Dana never told a lie, tells you you're not 100% what you want to claim. even all of that, denial, even sometimes denial of Africa, or a denial of indigenous culture, because denial of that is getting away from what they told me was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because if I start accepting those type of people, if I start accepting who they are, if I start accepting what they brought to the table for me to be me, and sometimes my culture to represent that, is to suffer. I don't want to suffer no more. This is what these people think. I don't want to suffer no more. I want to be close to my aggressor as possible. So what happens? These people come to hate themselves. They come to hate their own people. They bring different type of ideologies and make bullshit up, saying that our people actually used to live in a little town in Spain that never existed. This is the type of thing these type of people do. Twist and rewrite history to fit their narrative. So they come to love the people who came to destroy them. You know what I'm saying? They come to resemble those type of people that don't love them with those people. You know what I mean? They take their value, their orientation, and everything. And once they accept us, these people think we can escape. We can escape now, and I won't be a victim. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because these people look for their love to take them outside of themselves as a people. You know what I'm saying? And when these type of things occur, what ends up happening? This person becomes deceptive. This person becomes unreal. You can actually smell the phoniness coming out of this one person. And as you guys already heard probably long before, real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? With this type of person and this type of mentality, that doesn't occur whatsoever. That doesn't occur whatsoever. It's the fact that these people have to literally get themselves out and lie to themselves says a lot. It says a lot about their pathology. It says a lot about how they think, and it says a lot about who they will rather side by when shit hits the fan. Now, how do we break away from that? Breaking away from our aggressor, or breaking away from white approval. Education. Education, education, education. I'm not talking about being a YouTube scholar. I'm not talking about getting DVDs from fuckface widows who made it on YouTube. No. Having the right people and the right information in front of you. Education, 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 education. I want to give you guys a quick story. I grew up in the church, believe it or not. I was born and raised in the church. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what my mom, wanted me to be like. And she would feed me nuggets of information here and there, but let's be honest, she was indoctrinated with that church mentality. And it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's 100% true. Indoctrinated with that church mentality. Mind you, my mom has a psychology degree. Okay? Psychology degree. She got paid to talk to people softly. But she was a super religious person. And she put me into that, and me and my siblings, into that type of environment where I grew up very religious myself, even though I was kind of like, out there in the streets doing whatever, but you know what I mean? But still, I was doing that until she told me, she probably regrets it. She told me one time that, did you know that Jesus was black? I didn't believe her. Now, why would I not believe my own mom that I'm supposed to love, respect, adore, and see as a truth vessel? Why would I not believe her? Because I was indoctrinated by white supremacy telling me that God, it was always white. When she came out and said, God is black, was black? I'm like, nah. I made her point to the passage and I said, nah, that can't be. I saw the passage and I said, holy shit. She was like, yeah, God was black. Jesus was black, right? That's crazy, right? I'm like, yeah, that's insane. Until when she told me that, it made me open up my eyes to like, okay, I gotta research this. Mind you, when she told me this, 2 weeks before we got our first computer in the house, it was an HP computer, and it was from Sears. If anybody remembers that Sears, the Sears back in the day. HP computer in the house, and instead of downloading music off of LimeWire or Kazaa, giving my computer computer aids, instead of downloading music, I decided to research the Bible. I decided to research the fact that Jesus was black, and I was finding few sources here and there, and I started to dig to the point where I was digging and I started to lose my faith. The more I dug, the less faith I had. The more I found, the less faith I had. The more I dug, the blacker Jesus got. You know what I'm saying? To the point where when I finished my research, literally, because I got obsessed for a whole summer, 3 months. I got obsessed for 3 months. Looking at it, breaking it down, looking at it, questioning myself, everything. For a whole summer, researching. After I got out of it, I didn't feel like I was an expert, but I felt like I knew more than the average person. I went to my mom and I said, I don't believe Jesus is real. That broke her heart. But that was a sense of freedom I felt where I said, wait a minute, now I know the truth. We've been lied to. And then I kept on researching more, where I ended up finding out, this wonderful word called white supremacy that I use a lot. And it took me to a whole journey of meeting people and going into lectures and all this other stuff just to understand what it is. Just to understand it. And I came out with a great understanding. That's how I broke away from white approval. By researching and learning the history of my people. I have Mexican Excellence on here. She does 1 month long, every month, she does like free lectures of indigenous culture. Go to her YouTube channel. That's a way to break away from white approval. Sometimes we don't want to break away from white approval because that's a way to admit I was wrong and everything that I believed is wrong. Some of us don't want to break away from white approval over being scared, but for protection. The more I believe into this white shit, the more I see them as deities, the more protection I will have and I will feel. That is completely wrong, is what I'm saying. 100% wrong, and we should not be thinking like that. We should not be thinking like that whatsoever. We were not put in this fucking planet to be victimized and to be classified a minority when we goddamn sure isn't. Literally, these white folks are out here claiming everybody else as being white because their numbers are low. Okay? If you get arrested, for a Latin person to get arrested, and no matter how dark you are, you have a last name like Gonzalez or whatever the case is, they will mark you down as white regardless. Unless they actually go through the whole, you know, polls and you know, and stats and start, you know, they start, you know, okay, let's take the Hispanic and black route out, then you'll see all the numbers of white people actually being low, you know. But still, that's what it is. And this is something that we have to be real about. It's part of the Oedipus complex that some of these people suffer. It's true. And the way we break away from white approval is by education. Education, not rewritten history that some of us just gravitate to because it sounds nice. Just because it sounds nice doesn't mean that this person knows what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? What JC said, just because he wears a kufi don't mean that he's bright. Just because you don't understand what he's saying doesn't mean that it's nice. It means he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Come on now. Come on now. We have to be real and break away from white approval. And also, we can be side blinded by some of the people who are in denial of this and they want white approval. We gotta call it out. For me, it's very easy. You don't need to give me that many clues to see if you're a coon or a suspected white supremacist. You don't have to give me that many clues. I could figure that shit out real quick by certain things that you say. You know what I'm saying? By certain things that you say, the way you move and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy for me, and I don't want to find excuses or hear excuses from other people going like, well, is he a racist? Well, I don't know. He did date a black girl one time. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this. Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I am good. I don't got no time for none of that shit. I am good. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you want to support your boy, Cash App $Radical Latino, or go to my website radicallatino.com. There's a donate button and donate. If you don't got the money for it because it's the pandemic, I get it, everybody's broke. You could go to my YouTube channel. I'm monetized. Just watch this on YouTube and click on the ads or whatever the case is. Or what you guys can do is go to your favorite podcast app and rate your boy 5 estrellas. That's Japanese for 5 stars. No, let me stop. 5 stars. You know what I mean? Rate me 5 stars, and also hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at the same name, radical_Latino_. Hit me up. I'll definitely reply back. No trolls, please. No trolls. And as I always close out, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. With that being said, I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.